So what is the Community Resilience Fund and where did it come from? The Community Resilience Fund is a grant for charities and community groups based in and working with the most deprived areas and equality groups in Bristol. It's a fund for physical projects like improvements to community buildings or buying equipment. We know that places for communities to come together are valuable. They need to be well maintained, accessible to everyone, and the aim of this fund is to help them survive and thrive in the future.
The Community Resilience Fund is a new pilot project that we're running at Bristol City Council, and it's all about handing over more power to communities to make decisions about where funding should be spent. So we're working with community organisations very closely, as well as with residents and councillors, to allocate the funding, and we'll be going through a deliberative decision-making process, which means a process where people discuss the proposals that come in, are given lots of information to help shape their decisions, and then they come up with their final shortlist of what they want to fund.
So I think the thing about this process for the Community Resilience Fund is the way that we are bringing together different parts of the community across Bristol to co-design it. So that includes elected members, so councillors, it includes people from voluntary and community sector organisations, and with the support and the facilitation of Bristol City Council as well. So bringing that group of people together to think about the different ways that you could make decisions, to learn a bit more about participatory democracy and the way that we can involve our communities, and some of the kind of key ways that we want to have conversations with them about funding and infrastructure and quite big things like capital grants it's quite exciting.
At the start of the process, I think I was expecting more people to disagree with each other and actually it to take a bit longer to decide what the process was going to be, but it's been really great to work in groups to come to the decisions. It's been really good that resident voices have been equal to councillors and community organisations.
I decided to get involved because I go for quite a lot of funding myself, and I think it's really important to understand and be part of the decision-making process across the city.
We're able to actually do what we want and not what the big people up there want. And I feel like that's why people in local areas have their say, especially those from backgrounds who don't usually have their say, like autistic people like me, people from lower income households, stuff like that. Massively important.
It was more about increasing representation within how funds are distributed around the city. What's new and different is that we can see how feedback and suggestions and input actually is shaping everything.
Just listening to other people's views, how the decisions are made, how the rationale, expressed by different people, and seeing things from a different perspective, which I think is quite important. So being in a group of people, different age groups, different careers, different professions, makes it more interesting.
I definitely wouldn't have crossed paths with a lot of these people otherwise, so that's been really interesting to kind of meet new people and connections, and I think it's also quite valuable to know that hopefully we're making a positive difference to people that live in our city as well, so I really enjoy that kind of aspect.
Meeting everyone from such a diverse background is absolutely amazing.
I think what's different about this process is that we're also training local people to be facilitators and community organisations, so the skills will remain in the local community for future discussions.
The biggest ones probably that I've learned is that collaboration and innovation takes time because processes are new, and so mistakes get made as well as learned, and then it's new for everybody involved.
I think it's good for local people to have a say in these kind of things, making decisions. We all have different opinions and we all have knowledge that comes from our different lived experiences within the city.
I think one thing I'll take away from the process is that it is really hard to make these kind of decisions, and actually it's not easy and it takes time, but if people come together in the kind of right spirit, then it can be done.
For me, the most enjoyable thing has actually been being part of something really positive. I can really tell that the council have put a lot of care and effort into constructing this process and are really committed to the innovation and seem very hopeful and have just thrown a lot at it.
I've been amazed at how brilliantly it's organised. The amount of thought and work that's gone in to create the structure for it to happen has been absolutely incredible. I've not seen anything so well done before.
I've gained a lot of knowledge and insight and education from just being involved. I think it's really important for people who do community events to take part in something like this and say it's been invaluable for me. And I would suggest that if any friends said, oh, what do you think about this? I'll actually no, go and do it, because actually it's really interesting people. I only knew about 3 people here when I started, and now I know everybody.